Good evening. I'm Larry Ellis, and you're not. Welcome to Green Party Radio. We've got a special edition for you tonight. We hadn't really planned on doing a show, but we've got some important things to discuss. Don, are you with me? Well, I guess my producer hasn't showed up yet.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Has the music quit for us?
No, you can't hear the music?
Man, I can barely hear it in the background.
That's cool. I'll fade it out. For some reason, this stupid studio didn't work right. It started playing the wrong music, which is not the way I had it set up, but it's all good anyway. We're going, so.
It doesn't really matter.
You are now...
The music's not what's important. It's the message that's important.
Exactly. But I would rather the studio work properly, but hey, like you said.
Yeah, it would be nice, but as long as our minds are working properly, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, as long as we're live and on the air, that's pretty much all that counts.
Right. And I need to put a little disclaimer out there. I might get a little upset on this episode. There might be a couple of cuss words come out of my mouth. I will try and avoid the F-bomb if I can.
Yeah, pretty much, to George Carlin, 7 dirty words, blah, blah, blah. That was a long time ago. Pretty much, the F-bomb and the defecate word, it's pretty much anything else, you're good anymore nowadays, bastard, piss, all the stuff like that. You can get pissed off now on the radio. You can be a bastard on the radio. You pretty much can't fornicate on the radio.
No, we can't do that. None of that now.
No. Can't fornicate, can't defecate. Outside of that, you're good to go.
Well, I want to start off, I want to talk to all the Bernie Sanders supporters out there that think that Bernie Sanders has let us down or sold us out. I need people to understand that Bernie Sanders is a courageous man. Bernie Sanders took on the greatest evil establishment politicians of our time. But the man was threatened. There's only one reason that Bernie Sanders would tell everybody about the evils of the Democratic Party and then turn around and support it. And it all began with a man named Seth Rich. Seth Rich was in charge of the voter expansion project for the Democratic Party. It was his job to know when voter fraud happened. It was his job to see the expansion of the voter registration rolls in places like California, where it exponentially grew incredibly because of all of the young people that were registering to vote this election. Now, approximately, 85% of all those young people were going to vote for Bernie Sanders. And they got purged from the voter rolls. They got purged in California. California should be on fire right now after what happened. The exit polls were off by 23%, Don. 23%. When the United States goes over another country and kills a dictator or outs somebody they don't like Gaddafi, and they try to hold an election there, if the exit polls are off by more than 2%, the United States calls it election fraud and makes them do it again.
Yep.
There were 14 states that were off by over 4% in the Democratic primary. Every one of them were off in Hillary Clinton's favor. I believe the statistical odds were something like 77 billion to 1 that could happen. It's insane.
Yeah, I'll find there was a study done by a couple of
Stanford
college researchers. Yeah, and we'll have to post it on Green Party Radio USA on the Facebook page. Yeah, it's like 77 billion to 1. Basically, it couldn't happen, but it did. But it did.
Right, but it did happen. And everybody just looks the other way and says, oh, well, this and that and the other. But we have to stop looking the other way. We can't just say, oh, well, Hillary won fair and square, because we all know she didn't.
Wait.
Sanders,
I just have one thing. Wait, I have one thing to say. If you believe that Hillary Sanders won fair and square.
If you believe that, I got a big floppy wiener to dangle in your face.
That's all I got
and
to
yes,
say.
Right. And Bernie Sanders came out and said it. He said she won fair and square. But you have to ask yourself why he said it. Okay? And that goes back to Seth Rich. Seth Rich was murdered in Washington, D.C. at 4 o'clock in the morning, shot in the back, left for dead. He wasn't robbed because they didn't take his wallet or his watch or his cell phone, nothing.
But they said he was robbed.
Well, if they said it, it must be true then. So I'm just ranting about something silly here.
Exactly.
But immediately following that young man's murder, Bernie turned around and did a 180-degree spin and endorsed Hillary Clinton. Coincidence? I don't think so. On April 25th, Bernie Sanders said in a town hall meeting on CNN that if he ever endorses Hillary Clinton, that we should not listen to him, that we should be independent thinkers, and we should make Hillary Clinton earn our votes. She hasn't earned my vote. I don't think she's earned anybody's vote.
I'm voting for her.
I mean, she does have a vagina, so she might get some women's vote that don't care about reality. They don't care about having a woman for president.
Yeah, if the women really wanted a woman that gave two craps about them, they would vote for Jill Stein instead. Still have a woman president,
Absolutely.
but have one that actually cares about women.
Right. Well, I mean, by their logic, they would have voted for Carly Fiorina if she'd have won the Republicans. If it had been Carly versus Bernie, would they vote for Carly Fiorina because she's a woman?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the logic they're using.
Yep.
Now, I've seen interviews where guys walk around asking, hey, why are you voting for Hillary Clinton? Because she's a woman. Why else? I don't really have another reason.
She's not Trump.
I mean, there must be a lot of lead in their water. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Because these people are just stupid. There's no free thinking going on. They become a bunch of mindless, numb sheep doing whatever their TV sets tell them to do. Well, I got to tell you, if Hillary Clinton is on the ballot, she's going to win, guys. Do you think for a minute that they rigged the primary to lose the general election to Jill Stein? No, I'm going to vote for Jill Stein. Well, I'm not. I live in Oklahoma, and I can't at this moment. We have a lawsuit filed. We're still trying. But I urge everyone who can vote for Jill Stein to do it. Because the Democratic Party is corrupt. Disgustingly, I believe, more corrupt than the Republican Party. Now, before Bernie Sanders...
The Republicans are just dicks that, at least they're honest dicks.
Correct. I mean, the people wanted Donald Trump, and they got him. Are the people stupid? Yes. But at least the Republican Party had the integrity to give the people what they asked for.
Yeah. The Republican National Committee had no interest.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. They had no interest in Donald Trump being their nominee. But he got the most votes, and he's their nominee.
Right. And tell me one thing. Riddle me this. Donald Trump has rallies that draw 10, 15, 20,000 people, just like Bernie Sanders. Well, Donald Trump is winning 60 and 70% of the vote in those states, but Bernie's only getting 30 and 40% when he goes up against Hillary, who can't pull 200 people into a goddamn church. I mean, let's use our heads for a minute. Let's use some common sense. Common sense alone tells me that there's no way that Bernie Sanders was drawing 20,000 people, 30,000 people to a stadium, and those people weren't going out and voting for him. They stood in line longer for the rallies than they would have had to stand in line for the bullshit polls that, or polling places and voting places that all got shut down. Look at what happened in Arizona. Those kids stood out there for 4, 5, and 6 hours waiting to vote. and they were disenfranchised. 125,000 in Bernie's hometown got kicked off the rolls. Millions of young people in California were purged from the rolls and given provisional ballots and told their votes aren't going to count. And we're all supposed to just sit here and take it?
It tells you everything you need to know that at caucuses, when people actually had to show up, Bernie, it was 3-1, 4-1 in favor of Bernie.
It ended up, if you add up all the caucuses, it was like, I don't know how many there were, 11, 12, 13, whatever the number was of caucus primaries that we had. All of them combined, Bernie Sanders beat her by a 2-1 margin. That's like 65-35, somewhere in there, 67 to 33 if you want to make it actually 2-1, but we're not too worried about the math.
If you want to go with 66.6 to infinity to 33.3 to infinity, we can go there, but yeah.
There we go. Now we got the reality. You can't tell me that the caucus states were that far different from the voting primary states. It's unrealistic. It makes no sense. My mind is blown that people don't see this. People see it, but not enough people see it. And then everybody's saying, oh, we'll vote third party. We'll keep Hillary Clinton out with a third-party candidate. Really? Because we voted for Bernie and we still got Hillary. What makes you think voting for Jill is going to get you anything but Hillary? Because they're going to disenfranchise your votes.
Yeah, it's really
right now, the mainstream media. Sure, the mainstream media right now is saying Jill Stein's at 5 or 6%. Bullshit. Bull crap. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just inconceivable. They lie to make the polls match the outcomes of the general elections and the primaries that they rigged. Now, this isn't complicated. There's enough evidence. There's proof from WikiLeaks that the DNC colluded. There's Election Justice USA, which is a very reputable organization, let me tell you. They're not just some fly-by-night left-wing or right-wing, BS website. It's a reputable organization. These are the people that discovered and fought about the election fraud in Ohio and Florida when Bush won twice. They said, according to their statistics, Bernie was robbed of approximately 184 delegates at a minimum. Which if you take 184 away from Hillary and give 184 to Bernie, he becomes the Democratic nominee because he is ahead at the end of the Democratic primary. And they knew it. Anybody who doesn't believe me is free to go. You can Google it. Even Google can't hide this truth. I suggest using something besides Google because they track everything you do. DuckDuckGo doesn't track you. I'm pretty sure Yahoo does. Yahoo will give you a more honest answer than Google, but less honest than DuckDuckGo. But there's a lot of search engines out there. Pick anything but Google. But even Google, if you type Election Justice USA into Google, it's going to come up. It's a 100-page report on what happened.
The problem is
election fraud. It's called treason, people. How many soldiers in the course of the history of this country fought and died for your vote and for my right to vote, only to have Hillary Clinton spit on their graves and take our votes away? To me, that's one of the most heinous crimes she has committed. And she's committed a lot, guys. Emails have come out. Everybody's talking about, oh, she was exonerated. The FBI didn't want to indict her. But they didn't want to indict her on the mishandling of classified information. But they didn't say a damn thing about the content of those emails. And it's all coming out. She wanted to destroy Syria for Israel. Now let's think about that for a minute. Destroy Syria for Israel. What does destroy Syria mean? That means men, women, children are dying. I saw a video yesterday of a little girl, probably the age of my daughter. I couldn't watch it because it upset me so much. Little girl was burned by napalm. These people didn't have medical hospitals because we bombed their gosh dang hospitals. They were putting mud on this little girl, and she was just shaking, violently shaking, because Hillary Clinton wanted to destroy Syria for Israel. I'm sorry, but that infuriates me. It pisses me off. And it's not an emotional outburst. I'm pissed, justifiably pissed. You know, 49ers quarterback, Colin Kaepernick, how do you say his name? Kaepernick, there you go. That young man's being blasted by the mainstream media when he's got more balls than anybody I can stand here and think of right now that I know personally. He is sitting down for what he believes.
They say that, he's disrespecting our veterans. No, our veterans fought for his right to do that. Agree with him or not.
That's right.
I don't care. I don't necessarily agree with him. I put my hand over my heart for the national anthem, whatever. But so he doesn't want to. So what? That's his right as an American.
That's right, Don. When I was in Philadelphia during the convention, I was there the night of the breach of the wall when the cops all come rushing in. Not too long after that, once we got things settled back down, there were some flag burners, which I do not agree with. Now, I'm not going to walk up and take the flag away from them because they are exercising their First Amendment rights. I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to watch it. I walked away from it because I don't want to see it. But I got to tell you, they started chanting a bunch of anti-United States crap. I started a chant. I love my country, but I hate my government. And I do. And most soldiers feel the same way. They're the veterans and the soldiers that are currently serving our country agree that man has a right to sit down in the national anthem. They're fighting for his right to voice his opinion. Because that's what America's supposed to be about. But it's also supposed to be a democracy. It's supposed to be one man, one vote. But for Bernie, it was one man, half a vote, or 3/5 of a vote. It's like we were all slaves. We're 3/5 of a person because we got 3/5 of a vote.
Yeah, that's about what it worked out to.
That's how they rigged the machines. I don't know what the math was on it. I'm not concerned with it. I'm talking about how a Bernie Sanders vote didn't count as much as a Hillary Clinton vote on those machines. They rigged it. And we're supposed to just take it, and we're supposed to say, let's all go vote for Jill Stein, which, hey, I'm in favor of. We need a third party. We need to destroy this two-party system. But people are living in a fantasy world if they think that Hillary Clinton's not going to steal the general election. You think they stole the primary just so she could lose in the general? You think the Republican leaders are going to stop her? They don't like Donald Trump. Hell, the Bushes are endorsing Clinton. That alone ought to tell you to not vote for her.
You would think.
This vote blue no matter who crap is ridiculous. And my parents are going to vote for Hillary Clinton. I can't even convince them because they're vote blue no matter who.
Yep.
And hey, so was I once upon a time. I was. I've been voting blue since Walter Mondale. I'll never vote blue again. I'm going to wind up having to vote for Donald Trump. I'm not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. I'm not going to vote for a libertarian. And in Oklahoma, I can't vote for Jill Stein.
Well, I guess you can always hope the lawsuit comes through, but I don't see that happening. So, yeah, if you can't vote for Jill, what choices do you have?
It's amazing. I work in a prison. I'm hanging out and talking to inmates. And the inmates in there are like, I'd rather have 4 years of Trump than 8 years of Clinton. Hell, they know better. You know, and I can't convince my own parents, because they voted blue, no matter who, their whole lives, and they're not going to change. So you've got your vote blue, no matter who, people. You've got I'm going to vote with my vagina, people, and that's about it. Everybody else is pretty much convinced that Hillary Clinton is rotten to the core. She's not going to.
Well,
she won't beat Jill Stein in head-to-head honest voting. She won't. But it's not going to matter because it's not going to be an honest count.
Well,
they're going to rig it.
Tells you everything you need to know. They won't let Jill Stein participate in the debates. Well, if she's such a crackpot, lunatic, crazy, anti-vaccine, blah blah, socialist, whatever, just you would think if she's that bad,
welcome her in
so much, put her up on the stage and let people see, right? What do you have to lose? But no, they don't want her up there.
Right.
Because
if Hillary Clinton is such a great option, let her destroy Jill Stein on stage.
Yep.
But she can't do it. She won't even hold a press conference. You saw what happened. I don't know if people saw it, but you can Google it, for lack of a better word.
You have to say, well, it's sad now. Google has become, it's like a baggie that zips at the top. It's a Ziploc,
Right.
Google is now. If you say Google something,
it's a
it
they
means
still call
search.
It Ziplocs, right? Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
It means search.
Right.
If you say go online and search for something, to the millennials, what? You mean Google it?
That's right. But you can go online and Google it, and you can see when Hillary Clinton gets a bunch of reporters around her asking her a bunch of questions, she has a brain fart. She starts shaking violently. There's something wrong with that woman mentally. But the mainstream media is not going to report it. Heaven forbid.
Well, because they
so
know.
What do we do?
They know, they know her husband is the one that passed a law allowing 5 or 6 companies to own every media outlet in the country. So why,
Right. We had like 173 or 75 different media outlets when Bill Clinton took over. Now we have 6 or 5 or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
All thanks to the laws passed by her husband. Maybe what they were doing, it's called the third way. You guys can Google that too. It's just easier to say than DuckDuckGo it.
Yeah.
Google the third way. It's been in the works for a long time. It's about corporate Democrats. It's about saying, screw the little people. We're going to become corporate Democrats, and we're going to move to the right. The right is going to move so far to the right that we can move to the right and still be less of them. Well, what good does that do to the little people? Because it leaves us all out in the cold.
And they will throw a bone out. They'll throw Obamacare out. They'll throw a little bone out here and there to make you think, oh, they're for the little people. But sorry, the Democrats absolutely are not for the little people. Okay.
If you believe that, I got a big
not anymore.
Window to dangle in your face.
Sorry, they're not. Plain and simple.
No, of course not. No, they're all worried about their corporations. It's the corporations that are running this country. It's not run by politicians. The politicians are all owned. But the question is, what the hell do we do about it?
Good question. I think you might have.
We can all sit on Facebook and complain about it. We can all sit on Facebook and talk about promoting Jill Stein or Libertarian or whatever the hell you want to vote for that's not Republican or Democrat. Writing Bernie Sanders in, which is a complete waste of time and effort. Or we can stand up and do what Bernie Sanders said. He said it many times during every speech when millions of Americans stand up and say enough is enough. Going to vote, that's not standing up and saying enough is enough. That's just voting. Voting is easy. Hell, a lot of people don't even have to leave their houses to vote. Oregon mails in all their votes, don't they? You know, that's not standing up. It's not doing anything.
Anymore,
on your ass.
You don't even need a reason anymore to get an absentee ballot. Yeah, like you said, you can never leave your house and vote. Voting, and even if you do, voting takes a couple minutes out of your day, one day every 4 years.
Even if you live in Arizona and it takes 6 hours to vote, 6 hours every 4 years is not standing up.
Yeah.
What the Black Lives Matter protesters are doing, shutting down airports and shutting down interstates, that's standing up.
Yep.
That's standing up for what you believe in. That's fighting for your rights. So why aren't we standing up and fighting for our rights? Why are we rolling over and letting Hillary Clinton stick one right where its sun don't shine? Well, the media has gotten everybody all split off at all these different factions. Go do this, go do that, but don't stand up. Don't block an interstate. Don't shut down the airports. Bullshit. I say do it.